is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, the insane Daryl Wayne and I'm Mark Alyn, will explore a couple of things that touch each and every one of us. During the second half of our program today, we're going to talk about getting up off the couch, exercising, because, with hopefully the pandemic coming to a close, or at least becoming a new normal, we need to get out, move, and exercise. We'll be joined by Sherry Torklis. She's a holistic pharmacist and author of the GI Made Simple, and that's the GI tract made simple. And this first part of our show, I'm really excited to welcome somebody that I know each and every one of you know. How about that? And her name is Gretchen Rossi. She is one of the stars of Real Housewives of Orange County. Gretchen, welcome to Late Night Health.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for having me.
Our pleasure. We're going to talk about two things today. We're going to start by talking with something that is near and dear to me, and that's choking. Kids in particular have a propensity to choke. Speaking of a little one. How old?
Sorry.
That's all right. I was in a service once, and a little baby was crying, hysterically crying, and she couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 months old. And the mother was trying, shut up, shut up, shut up. And finally, the clergyman said, you know what? The sounds of dogs and the sounds of baby crying are much better than mothers yelling at their kids. So, and I have to agree with that. All right, let's talk about this. Choking is a leading cause of accidental death in the U.S., I guess in the world.
Yep.
And are I guess especially with young kids, choking is very serious.
Yes, it really is, Mark. And the thing is that what a lot of people don't realize is how much it can happen in just a matter of seconds. I mean, as we all know, us that have our littles out there, you turn around and they have everything and anything in their mouth. And it can be as simple as, something in the home, or you're at the park and they stick a leaf or, some object in their mouth. And, within a matter of seconds, it's down their throat and it's getting lodged there. And, there's all the things of, the types of foods you're not supposed to eat, or, the hot dogs, the grapes, all of those things that can definitely cause a child to choke. But there's some things that people don't even think about or even realize. And hard candy is one of those things that a lot of children eat, and not even just, younger children, but even older children, that they'll choke on hard candy. And so there's just so many things that you constantly have to be thinking about in our environment that could cause a child to choke. And as a matter of fact, this isn't just related to children. There's really high statistics when it comes to older people as well. As we get older, we know that some people struggle with even being able to chew their food the same, because our teeth aren't the same, and they have a hard time swallowing. And so, sadly, I just recently had a dear friend, lose her husband to choking on a piece of meat, and it literally happened right in front of her and her 2 children. He literally choked and died right in front of them.
Oh my God!
On a piece of steak. So this can happen to anybody of any age at any time, and that is why I'm just so passionate and so involved with this incredible company called LifeVac, and it is this life-saving device that truly can help unblock any obstruction that is in your airway. And this device is a one-way valve that allows whatever obstructions in your airway to be dislodged a lot easier than if we were trying to do it on our own. And most of the time, what they recommend is that you always try the Heimlich maneuver first, and then this will be your second resource if the Heimlich maneuver has failed you. And the statistics with the Heimlich maneuver that a lot of people don't know is that it only works about 50 to 70% of the time, the Heimlich maneuver. And the studies have shown that with the LifeVac device, that it's working up to 99%, or it raises your chances to 99% of surviving that. So it really is such an incredible device, and it really is something that anybody out there that's listening to this program, it is a device that you want to have in your home, similar to having a fire extinguisher in your home. It is something that truly can save a loved one at a time of panic, and when we're in a distress situation, we always get confused of what to do, or do I call the ambulance, or what do I do? And this is just such a great device to have on hand in case you're in that situation. And I keep one in my downstairs closet right next to the kitchen where we're normally eating. And then I actually have a travel case that I keep in my car. And whenever we're going out to restaurants or events, or even at the park, I always make sure I stick it in my diaper bag, and I have it right there with me. And whether or not Skylar ends up choking, I actually like feeling the security of having it with me in case we're ever in a situation where someone else around me is in a predicament. There was, I have to tell you the story, Mark. There was this one time we were at a restaurant with Slade down in Palm Springs, and this older man started choking, and he was there with his daughter, and she started screaming, "Is anyone a doctor? Is anyone a doctor?" And Slade got up and literally ran across the restaurant, and thankfully he knew how to do the Heimlich maneuver, and he saved this man's life. But there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to do that or panic in a situation like that. So
of course,
I think that all the restaurants should have one of these on hand. I think the schools should have these on hand. I really think this is a device that everybody needs to have.
I'm really curious, you talk about the panic of the person who's not choking, but the person who's choking is also panicking. I mean, we've all choked on something in our lives, and you feel lost, and you're trying to hack up that piece of meat or fruit or whatever it might be. This seems to be, as you said, something that every household should have. I'm watching, if I watch a medical drama and they're trying to put a tube down people's throats, it seems to be a difficult procedure. It's something that, the interns start, and then they have to learn how to do it, and then the resident comes in and shows them how, then the attending comes in and shows them. Is LifeVac easy to use?
Yes, that is actually one of the things that is that's so great about this device. And going back to the statistic I spoke about earlier, the Heimlich maneuver, when I said it's only 50 to 70% effective, that's even when it's performed by a trained professional. So, that lowers your chances even more if somebody really doesn't even know how to do the Heimlich properly. So what is so great about this device is it literally is a place, push, and pull. And so the device is almost like a mask that goes over your nose and your mouth, something that you would see similar to somebody that was in the hospital on oxygen. And the device it has a handle on it, and you literally place it over your mouth and your nose, you push down, and then you pull it up, and it literally sucks up. It has like a vacuum-like suction that sucks out whatever is in your airway.
We're going to take a time out, and when we come back, Gretchen, we'll continue this. We'll talk more about LifeVac, and at the same time, maybe we can spend a little bit of time on another passion of yours, and that's IVF. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We actually have a real housewife of Orange County, Gretchen Rossi, on our line. We're talking to her as Late Night Health continues. Be sure to join us at latenighthealth.com. That's latenighthealth.com. I'm Mark Alyn. Late Night Health continues. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment. If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com. Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Our guest is Gretchen Rossi. She's a real housewife of Orange County. Did you grow up in Orange County, by the way, Gretchen?
No, I actually grew up in Glendale, Pasadena area.
Oh, the valley, as they call it.
Yeah, exactly, the valley. I grew up in that area, and then I went to school out in Texas at Baylor University, and then when I moved home, I decided I wanted to be by the beach, so I moved down to the OC.
Got it. Well, and it's been very good for you and very good to you. We've been talking about LifeVac, and I just wanted to talk about a couple other things. One of the things that parents and grandparents give their kids are grapes. And yep. I've always been afraid of grapes. I know that we've always cut ours at least in half. Is that enough, do you think?
Well, look, I'm not a professional when it comes to grape cutting. But, for me, I'm just one of those very paranoid moms. And so I don't even consider giving my children, or my child, I should say, anything that's questionable until way past an age that I even think that they are, in the safe zone. So I would say, if there's something that's questionable, don't even chance it, because it doesn't even matter if it's half, small, this, that. I just feel like the chances of it causing an obstruction in their little airways, and that's what people don't realize, is that they just don't have, the the size of the airways like an adult has or whatnot. So it's still, I don't know, a little sketch to me to give them things that they could potentially choke on.
One of the biggies is hot dogs. Because when
I
you
was going to
slice
say
it,
that next.
When you slice it to bite-sized pieces, it's a perfect plug for your airway. A meat plug.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And I believe that hot dogs expand.
Yes, you're right. Exactly. Think about it. When you first stick it in the microwave or in the pot, they're small, and then they start to expand. Absolutely. So that's a very good point about that piece of food that can get down and stuck in your airway.
They plump up, as they say.
Yep.
Do you have a website for LifeVac, by the way?
Yes, I do. So if you go to LifeVac.net, and that's all one word, so LifeVac.net, and then you can use my code Gretchen10, and you can get a percentage off of that. And, I just want to remind people that the cost of a LifeVac is literally less expensive than to go fill up your car with gas. So if you put it into perspective like that, and you think, oh my gosh, I could literally save a loved one's life for the cost of or less than a tank of gas, that's really something that you definitely want to have in your home. I suggest people get it as gifts for family members. Mother's Day is coming up, so it's just a really great device to have on hand, and to gift to your loved ones, and to just make sure, like you were just saying, you're a grandparent, like get this in your kids' hands, and just know that they have this device in case they're, God forbid, ever in a horrible circumstance.
Absolutely.
Plus it doesn't plug in, so you're not going to suck out somebody's lung.
Yeah, exactly. It's not anything, or it's not a complicated device. You can take it on the go. As I said, I have one at home, and I have one for my car. I think right now they're actually selling the bundle where you can get both of those. I think it's at a discount right now. So, it just really makes a great gift, and it gives parents and family members some sense of peace, if you will.
It's a peace of mind. I want to switch topics here because I know that you have a passion for in vitro fertilization, or IVF, and what is your passion about IVF?
Well, it's interesting because I don't know if I would necessarily say I have a passion for it, because most people that have been through IVF know it's a very arduous, difficult thing to go through. However, I have a passion in letting people, into the world of IVF and educating people on, just all the things that are happening in that space and in that world of IVF, because I personally believe that there's just a lot of unfortunately unscrupulous doctors and practices out there that are really taking advantage of people's infertility and their journeys. And I think it's really sad. So a few years back when I started going through IVF, I just really wanted to advocate and use my platform to get the word out about, what people need to be doing, what people need to be looking for in their doctors and their facilities, and how to really make it, first of all, how to really make it work, if you can make it work, and second of all, how to just really survive it, because it is a very emotionally, mentally, physically, financially exhausting process. And, Slade and I, we had to go through IVF because he had a vasectomy 15 years ago, and I wanted to have children. And so we started our journey down with IVF. And unfortunately, our first round, we did not succeed. We had 14 embryos, and about 6 hours before we were going to implant those embryos, they all arrested, which means they all died. And that really sent me on this journey of research and exploration into what happened. Like, what happened? How could I go from having 14 what seemed beautiful, solid embryos to losing all of them only 6 hours before they were supposed to implant them? And through that process and through that pain, I really just learned so much about, the labs and about the embryologists and about the doctors and about what needs to happen to really have a safe and good environment for your embryos to survive and to be able to get to the point where you can actually be pregnant. And so through that process, as I mentioned, I decided to use my voice and my platform to really get that knowledge out there. Part of that, too, was, I was a 30-year-old woman, in my 30s, I should say, not even thinking that I was ever going to have an issue with trying to get pregnant. And I always thought to myself, oh, well, there's always IVF. And I always thought that because in Hollywood, they glamorize the fact that you can have a child way up into, you're almost 50 years of age. I mean, look at Halle Berry, look at Janet Jackson. All of these women that are having these babies, and they seem to have no problem having a baby, way up into their late 40s, and Janet Jackson was 50. Unfortunately, I think some of these people that are in the public eye, some of these celebrities, they're not being completely forthright in the fact that they are using egg donors. And I'm not saying that those people in particular used egg donors, because I don't know. But what I do know is the science now behind just our bodies. And I know that, when I went and spoke to my doctor, who is a world-renowned IVF doctor, he's actually one of the founding fathers of IVF. His name is Dr. Suri, and he's with Southern California Reproductive Center. And I asked him, I said, what is the oldest woman you've ever had in here and that she used her own egg? And he said 46, and he said, and that was the only time I've had somebody at that age that used her own egg. So I say that because a lot of people don't realize that women are their most fertile at age 17. That is when we are at our prime and our most fertile to get pregnant and have a successful pregnancy and a healthy pregnancy. By the time you're 34, you've literally lost half of your egg production. And then by the time you're 39, you've lost another half of that half. And that's just science. That's not me making up numbers. It's not any of that. That is just science. So by the time you hit your early 40s, your chances of having a good quality egg have really diminished. And I think that's why the egg freezing and all of the things that these facilities are, suggesting to younger women that might not have the right partner yet, that maybe haven't, that are focused on their career and think they want to have, babies later on. It's almost like it's an insurance policy for them to know that they have their good quality eggs when they're younger still intact, and that they
Gretchen, IVF. Daryl, how long do we have?
We're done.
We're done. We're wrapping up. Okay,
give me another 30 seconds worth.
You got it, Gretchen. We're wrapping up our time together. First of all, this is fascinating. I'd love to get into some of the psychological aspects of IVF. I know that because it's hormone based, there can be ups and downs and mood swings and things like that, and that's horrific. And then there's the body changes, and then there's dealing with your spouse or partner. Can all be somewhat arduous, as they say. Will you come back sometime?
Sure, I could talk for weeks about all of that.
And I'm going to ask you to hold on a second here. Listen, we're going to go back and talk about LifeVac. Go to lifevac.net, lifevac.net, and be sure to follow them at LifeSpaceVac for more information. We've been talking with our new friend Gretchen Rossi. She is a real housewife of Orange County. You've seen her on TV, and we're going to bring her back sometime soon. I'm Mark Alyn. Late Night Health continues. Don't go away. More coming up.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.